Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I always feel like singing for you guys every time you join, but I've been advised against it, so I won't. How you guys doing? I hope you're fine. I'm so glad to have you here. And today we're having the third and final episode on the mentorship series. Of course, if there are any questions, I would always address them in another video. So yeah, but today is the third episode of the mentorship series, and today we're going to be answering the question, when can I become a mentor and how do I treat my mentees? Right. So if you've not watched the first and second parts, please find it on my channel. It's just the previous videos. I talk about who a mentor is, why it's important, how to get a mentor, and how to relate with your mentors. Very important that you watch these videos. Let's get right to it because we have quite a few points to cover. A mentee is somebody that you guide through life. Everything I said in the first video, take it the other way, right? And then you would apply it right. So a mentee is somebody you guide through life. You can mentor somebody through life generally, and you can mentor somebody through specifics like relationship, career, a new industry path, a particular decision. Yeah, so just like I said about having mentors in different fields, you can also have mentees in different fields, right? So a mentee is just somebody, yeah, that you guide through life, right? And you can reach out to somebody and say, oh, I want to mentor you, which is usually rare. But most times people reach out and say, oh, I want you to mentor me, right? So when can you be a mentor? I really believe that at any point in life, a person can be a mentor. As far as you have gone through an experience that gives you the knowledge another person needs in their journey, you're fit to be a mentor. However, with that comes responsibility that you have to be ready to handle, but you can't be a mentor, right? So if I've gone through secondary school, I can mentor somebody in secondary school. If I have gone through relationship and now I'm not married, I can mentor somebody in that line. If I have taken the bar exams and I am a lawyer, I can mentor somebody in that line. As long as you have gone through a process that somebody is now going through, you can mentor them. It now behoves on you to continue to grow in that line, and go about the mentorship right. And I want to say this: a lot of people believe that mentorship is important, but they don't believe that as a mentor, mentorship downwards is important. This is what I mean. A lot of people believe, oh, I should have a mentor, but they don't understand why they should have mentees. Do you get what I'm saying? And I'll give you one very important reason why it's important to have a mentee. Mentees keep us on our toes. I won't even lie. They make you grow. They make you want to be better. It's just the same way parents, when somebody has a child, normally you see that they want to be better. They want to make more out of life. They want to be more responsible. A lot of young people change when they become fathers or mothers. It's the same thing with mentees. So when you have somebody that looks up to you career-wise, you don't become complacent because you cannot give what you don't have. If you have somebody that looks up to you relationship-wise, then it behoves on you to work as your relationship, not for perfection, but for growth. So mentorship is also important because it helps you grow to give. So I'm just going to give about 8 things or 8 points how you should relate with your mentee, right? And I'll try and walk through them as quick but as properly as I can. So the first is for you to respect them. I taught in the previous episode that mentees should respect their mentors, but it's also important that mentors respect their mentees. And like I said in the previous episode about likening mentors to parents, remember that Proverbs 6:4 says, parents, do not provoke your children to anger. So mentors, do not provoke your mentees to anger. You need to also respect them. Respect is reciprocal. You cannot treat them in a demeaning way. You cannot look down on them. They are almost as important to you as you are to them. Number 2, open up and be real with them. Don't bring up hairs of hypocrisy and perfection and pretense and, oh, I do no wrong, I make no mistakes. No. When you do that, then you don't allow them to honestly learn from you. You don't allow them to also be real with you. But when you are real with them, you encourage them to also be real with you, to ask their real questions, to share their real struggles, to share their real problems and concerns. Share with them your mistakes. Share with them how you overcame your mistakes. Share with them some of your struggles. But of course, like the Bible says, wisdom is profitable to direct. So you don't share, there's some things that it is not wise, to share. But the essence of this point is to be real and open with them. Share your mistakes, share your sometimes your imperfections and your struggles, so that they understand that they don't need to be perfect to get to where they're going to. They just need to grow. Number 3 is make time for them and be intentional about it. I already taught that as mentees, it is your duty to follow up. But as mentors, we must also be intentional about the relationship. I have a a group for my mentees on WhatsApp, and sometimes I find that it's almost a week I haven't reached out to them. I may not have anything to say, but I have to check on them. So it's important that you are intentional about the relationship. That said, that means that you might not be able to take on everybody as your mentee, and it's okay. Take the one that you can handle and focus on and impact in. And then not all mentees will have the same relationship with you. Some will be closer than others, and that's okay too. Also, the next one is encourage their growth and celebrate their successes. And you see that Paul did that a lot with Timothy. Encourage their growth. If your mentees are doing well in a particular field, just like parents should, encourage their growth. Tell them, I'm proud of you. Tell them, I like what you're doing here. Oh, I can see that you're growing so much. Encourage their efforts, encourage their attempts, and celebrate their successes. Number 5 is be approachable. Don't be Lord and Savior over their lives. No, be approachable to them. Let them be able to come to you with questions. Of course, you need to be firm. You need to instruct them when necessary, correct them when necessary, scold them when necessary. But make sure that you're doing all of these things in love, so that you are an approachable person to them. That is the essence of mentorship. What is the essence of mentorship if they cannot approach you, right? This other point, number 6, is very, very important. Guide them to be themselves and not you. So in mentorship, you are guiding them to be the best version of themselves and not a copycat of you. So I'm not going to necessarily, if I have mentees that are general mentees, so it's not career wise or necessarily relationship wise, so they come to me with all sorts of questions. Now, I'm a lawyer and I have a YouTube channel, I do spoken word. It doesn't mean that I will start pushing them to that, do spoken word, open YouTube. No. What is their own line? What are they supposed to do? I have one of them that wants to open, have her restaurant, and she's really good with catering and all of that. I encourage her in that. I have about 2 that are into spoken word. I encourage them in that. In whatever field they are, mentorship means that I am encouraging them to be the best version of themselves and not a copycat of me. Pray for them, teach them, instruct them, be firm, correct in love. This is explanatory, so I won't go into detail on that. And last point is help them grow to make decisions for themselves with you as a guide, right? They should develop some form of independence. If you've mentored somebody for 1 year intentionally and they cannot make any decision on their own, you failed. If you've mentored somebody for 1 year intentionally, there should be, remember I said celebrate their growth. So if there's no growth to celebrate, then what happens? You are not, when they come to you with questions, you're not always just giving them the answers. You're guiding them on how to find the answers, so that you don't become Lord and Savior, indispensable. No, you remain a guide, but they are growing to be able to make decisions on their own. So that, for example, your mentee comes to you at your mentee comes to you at first and says, "Oh, how can I do this?" You show them how and everything. The next time they are coming to you with that kind of question, what they should be saying should no longer be, "How can I do this?" but, "This is how I did this. Am I correct? Do you see the difference?" So it already speaks of growth, that they have learned to do something and they're just looking at you to mold. So you're now editing the work instead of teaching them how to write the work. Do you understand? So the first time you taught them, this is what full stop and comma, this is how it is used. The next time they have used it and you are editing or correcting or vetting, that speaks to growth. So you're guiding them to become independent people who can now even mentor other people, right? At some point, your mentees should be able to mentor other people, because you have been able to help them grow into some form of intelligence and independence, that they can now make decisions on their own and do what is right, and you're still there as a guide. So your position kind of changes. You're now just saying, "Oh yeah, that was good, touch it up this way, touch it up that way," instead of giving them the whole thing which you were doing at first. You can't keep spoon feeding your mentee. You have to let them grow. So these are just some ways that as mentors, we can relate, and we should relate with our mentees. And remember that as was given to you, you should also give. If your hand is like this, you also cannot receive. You should learn to give. As people have poured into you, learn to pour into other people. Teach somebody something. If somebody comes for mentorship and you have the time and ability in that field, please do. Don't be akagom with your life's experience and your knowledge. Let us learn to share that which experience and wisdom and knowledge and other people have impacted with us. So that's the end of our mentorship series. Yay! If you have any questions or any mentorship or menteeship experience, feel free to share in the comments. Like, subscribe, share, turn on the notification bell thing, and just join me every time. Let's have a chat. I love to hear from you and I love to speak with you. Until the next video, have an amazing time. Take care of yourself. I love you. Bye.